to my brother's daughter and heir, Darcia Lancaster. I thus bequeath a stake in Thelma's Place, equivalent to the $50,000 with compounded interest from the original date of my brother's loan. The remaining shares of Thelma's Place will be divided equally among my own children, Evan Lancaster Jr. and Rondell Pauline Lancaster.
All right, Ambitions fans, now we're talking about Darcia and the fact that she is now 2/3 owner of not only Thelma's Place, but the land that Senior once owned while he was living. And the question that fans have been discussing and going back and forth on is whether or not there is foul play involved. It just seems a bit too on the nose and something that just came out of left field for Senior not to tell his children, or specifically in this case Rondell, that he isn't, actually the owner of Thelma's Place. And well, I mean, technically he owned it, but it's just one of those situations where he was still in debt. And it just goes back to the whole situation about Rondell wanting to save Thelma's Place from being taken over by Greg Peters and whatnot. And it just seems weird. The fact that, him borrowing $50,000 from his brother is one thing, but for the debt not to be quote unquote erased after his brother's death, it's kind of like, well, my brother who I borrowed the money from passed on. So, I mean, what about his wife? I'm going to assume that, Darcia's mother also passed away, because she did say that, Senior borrowed the money. Well, no, I'm sorry. I actually got that wrong. I think it was Senior and Thelma, I believe was the name of his wife, were the ones that borrowed the money from, Darcia's father. And there was a notary or whatever, pretty much, saying that, hey, this is exactly what went down, and check Senior's bank records. He never paid the money back. So I'm just wondering why Senior never brought this up before, because of the fact that, Evan married into a rich family, but I can understand it. It's like, that's a debt he acquired. That's something he didn't want to leave to his children. So it's one of those things where, hey, I wasn't able to pay off the debt in my life. So when I pass on, I'm going to leave everything to, Evan and Rondell. But I also have to leave a percentage of my belongings to Darcia to make up for said debt. But the thing about it is, I'm thinking about this theoretically. Let's say, for example, number one, Rondell failed and she gave up the land to Peters. Or moving forward in the series, when Stephanie wrote out that contract talking about how they'll rebuild Thelma's and, there'll be a luxurious deal if they actually signed on. But as soon as they left the office, she actually got the secretary to change some stipulations because they won't be able to catch that in the contract. But either way, Rondell and Senior would have been well off by signing the document with Stephanie. So theoretically, if they did sign the document, they made a major payday or whatever, and then got a new Thelma's Place, would Senior have taken part of the cut and then slid that over to Darcia under the table, saying, hey, this is the money I owed your father. We had to sell the land because of the development company coming in. So here's your $50,000 plus interest. So I don't know how that would have played out. It just doesn't seem right to me. I feel like the most suspicious part of this was Senior not informing his children, especially when it comes down to, let's say he only was going to pay back the $50,000 without interest. So what if it was a situation where, okay, we know Evan married into a rich family, he's very successful, $50,000 wouldn't be that much money, But I get it. Once again, he wouldn't want to borrow the money from his son because that was his burden that he, carried by borrowing the money, not Evan's. But also when, Stephanie told Senior about the fact that Rondell was pretty much, keeping things from him in regards to, wait, you told me they offered this amount of money, but they really offered this amount of money. No. This isn't your choice to make, Rondell. I'm the one who makes the, thumbs up or thumbs down on what's going to happen to Thelma's Place, not you. So something doesn't seem right to me, if you ask me. It just doesn't seem right. There's so many questions. I think the biggest one to me is if they did sell the lands to Peters, if they did sell the lands to if they did sell the land and restaurant to Peters, what would have happened then? Like, let's say all this occurred before Senior passed away. It just seems suspicious that this debt would come up now. And going back, here's another thing. The shooting that occurred, was that really Natasha? It's like, who is Darcia working for? For example, if this was all on the straight and narrow, if this all actually went down legit, like, okay, Senior did borrow the money and he did plan to pay it back in some way, shape, or form, why did Darcia get on the phone at the end of the previous episode, lighting the cigarette, saying, ooh, this is going to be easier than taking candy from a baby? It definitely gave vibes that she's working with someone. Or this isn't the first time she's done something like this before. Perhaps there are other family members she's rolled up on at after a funeral and then claimed that they borrowed money from her family or whatever the case may be, and then was making paydays out of that. So if this was legitimately what happened, and you know, her father did give money to his brother, what's going on here? Not to mention, Rondell told Evan that she got a message saying that, you know, Darcy and a lawyer will be coming to the reading of the will. So did they come to the reading of the will to contest the will? You know, let's say if Senior said, hey, we're leaving everything, I'm leaving everything to Evan and Rondell. Or did she come to the meeting because she knew she was in the will? Or was it because, hey, you know what? I have a lawyer who looked over everything and the $50,000 is legit. So, okay, we're going to look at Senior's assets that he left you all, and then we're going to take what I'm owed from that. But no, it was specifically stated in the will that, hey, you know what? I did borrow the money, and you know what? Your cousin is going to get 2/3 share. It doesn't seem right. And not to mention the whole Senior death thing. Did she have something to do with that? Maybe I don't think it was Greg Peters, or maybe it wasn't even Natasha. Maybe it was other people that Darcia was working with. I don't know. But it does lead me to believe there is foul play involved in this. So I think we have we have an episode coming out this week, next week, and I think we have 2 episodes coming out the 17th. So we got about 4 episodes left. It seems like a lot of stuff is going down. We have more questions that need to be answered, but let me know what you think. Do you think Senior's debt is legit? Or do you think it's a situation where Darcia is involved with foul play? Maybe this has something to do with the Greg Peters deal. I don't know. But something to really consider is, you know, Senior, number one, I don't think was ever worried about Evan and money. But Rondell and getting a life outside of Thelma's, that was something that Senior and Evan brought up a couple times, where maybe it'll be a good thing if the restaurant is sold because you can move on with your life, maybe settle down, because all you've done is try to keep the restaurant up. But at the same time, even if Greg Peters, if this plan doesn't go through, there's only going to be another developer coming in next. So progress is going to happen no matter how many times you try to step in front of the bulldozer. So who knows? Maybe selling would have been the best move. I don't know. Maybe Senior would still be alive if they had sold. I don't know. But this whole debt thing, we'll just have to wait and see. So with that being said, Ambitions fans, make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, comment your thoughts, check me out on social media, links are in the description below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you episode comes on Tuesday. I should have an episode review up in a timely matter. You know, the holidays are over. At this point, you know, we're all trying to get back in the groove of our normal scheduled lives, if you will. I do have a lot of eBay stuff ending tomorrow night. So I think most of Tuesday will be spent getting that stuff ready for a Thursday mailing shipment, because I really want to make sure my Oval, Ambition, and Sister videos are up in a timely manner this week. So there we go. And please help me hit 100,000 subscribers. We are less than 1,600 people away, so I cannot do it without you. So please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you check out Ambitions Live. I know they're trying to fight for ratings in order to get renewed for season 2. Have they been renewed? I don't know. But I just know that, hey, when you watch the show, make sure you do #Ambitions, and let's see if we can keep the thing moving.